First of all, I understood that what I know about the sales.
Or I am 27 years old guy in Iran, so then now I fix my mindset.
Make a boost in sales and also sales growth. Okay, I should get it.
What are the challenges of running a business in Finland as an immigrant? Welcome back to the Get Cracking podcast and YouTube channel, and we are back. And today you're probably listening to this episode in October, and welcome back. I'm happy to be back, and we have a wonderful guest, Mehdi from Intelligent Law is here. Hi, Mehdi.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here.
If you just tuned in, today we speak entrepreneurship and business, and then there are two immigrants here on the table discussing how they moved to one of the Nordic countries, Finland, Helsinki, and then running their business ventures. So I think today will be super interesting. Before we gonna even start, I would maybe ask everybody to go to LinkedIn and check Mehdi's profile. How do they find you in LinkedIn?
Actually, for sure, I'm going to share LinkedIn in this social media, but Mehdi Yarmohammadi, they could find it. Could be a bit difficult, but maybe I could share it.
It will be in show notes, so please check it out and then tune in, get closer, listen to that. So it surely will be interesting. But then, so the first question, Mehdi, in kind of few words, would you kind of explain your journey and why people should be listening?
Yes, thank you very much. Actually, if I want to tell about my business journey starts when I was about 27 years old and I was fresh graduated, and for about 3 years I was working in an automotive parts manufacturer in my home country, Persia, Iran. In that time, I was thinking that maybe I want to work for myself, I want to be an entrepreneur, and I would like to have my own company. Since then, I have my own company, 2 companies, I could call them successful company, and today I want to share some points with audiences. What points should we consider, should we adopt if we want to be successful in entrepreneurship, and some points or some mistake we should avoid? Maybe why they should listen because of the...
Cool. So then you are in business for a while now, and then also you've been living at least in 2 countries. Are there like more countries that you know, or like the markets?
Actually, for years and years, I have worked in the Middle Eastern countries. For example, my home country, I was all the neighbors. And when we are thinking of working in the EU, if we want to think locally, I cannot understand it. Because EU is EU. Finland means EU, Germany means EU. That's why I want to answer by this. When I'm in the Middle East, it means, for example, Iran, Turkey, Arabic countries, and the other countries. When I'm talking about EU, it is all EU countries, as well as some part, maybe we could go through Canada also, because I see Canada a very interesting market, which we have been active there for our clients also.
So, like business overall and entrepreneurship is challenging, right? And how was it for you? How did you end up in Finland, actually?
First, I should tell why I am here.
Yeah.
I Finland.
Yes. Let's start at the beginning.
Between about, I think, 180, 190 countries by Finland. In 2005, I decided to start my own company, as I told you. I was about 20 years old. Then I resigned from my job, which was really good for me in that time, and I had got married maybe 1 year ago, something like this, and I started my first company. For 4 years, I was struggling, very difficult. But after 4 years, golden gates, and I faced a new feature of the world and also life. Very soon, I became a representative of Suomen Lämpöpuu Company of Finland, first in Iran, very soon in the Middle East. After that, distributor of Teknos company. I'm sure you know Teknos, one of the most famous, well-known and branded in the chemical and also paint manufacturing in Finland and many companies in all over the world. I was a distributor of Teknos company Iran also. Very soon, not only Iran, some other Middle East countries. Okay? Then it was the point that I could get connected with some of the Finnish companies. I continued in 2016 when my company was in the top and I was doing good branding and also well known in the Middle East countries in my target market. I was offered by Suomen number 4 SLP, let's call it SLP as a relation, board members to be shareholder in SLP. Then I bought 10% of the Suomen number company's shares and became shareholder. Same time I was studying at Aalto University of Finland, engaging with the Finland step by step. Very soon Suomen number company got merged with the Teknos company of Estonia and Haserv company. Then after about 1 year, I was shareholder in Termori Group, which contains different companies. In 2018, I decided to sell out my shares, and I did it with a good profit because I had a very good offer by the Termori board. And after that, maybe since 2016, 2018, and now I'm helping small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, who are inside Finland and are doing great inside their network, but they would like to go globally. They want to step out of their comfort zone and get developed, make a boost in sales and also sales growth. I'm helping them in sales and also marketing. It is wild why I'm in Finland.
Let's break it down a bit and let's see if I kind of fully understand. So you're from Iran, and then you got also the Middle Eastern understanding of the business and probably how the trade is done, right? And somehow you got connected with the Finnish company, and then you basically built the bridge between Finland and Middle Eastern companies. And then this is why they actually offered you opportunity to become a shareholder in this LSP company, right?
SLP company. Actually, in 2016, we were number 1 representative. I'm talking about the volume of sales in that time. That's why, I don't know exactly, maybe we need to ask it from the previous shareholders or board members why they invited. Maybe they wanted to keep us in the...
What do you think? What do you think is your, why you think they invited you?
Because in that time, we were getting offer from different competitors. I don't want to name them, but very, very good competitors in Finland, Estonia, Latvia, different countries around here. And maybe in that time, Suomen Lämpöpuu company, SLP company board member would like to have this representative who had covered many countries, not many, but most of them, I could say, good target in the Middle East. Maybe it was the main reason. And they wanted to sell maybe less than 10% because, as you know, when we are going to buy shares, 10% and 9.9% is very different. When we have 10%, we have many rights as a shareholder. But I insisted that I want 10%. They said, sure, yes. And yes, it was my journey to Finland.
Did you also become a board member?
No.
Then? So it's only 10% shares, but then no board position.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, got it. So what do you think? Is it possible to do the same type of journey nowadays? Somebody can you imagine somebody in Iran who is understanding the our local markets there and maybe understanding the Middle East in general, and then partnering up with some Finnish or maybe Scandinavian, maybe it can be a Swedish company, and then going your journey? Do you think it's possible?
Of course it is possible.
Okay.
Never is late.
Yeah.
It depends on our mindset. It depends on our goal. If anyone wants to be entrepreneur, wants to make growth, wants to grow in the life, everything is coming from the mindset. The wealthy people are not born with the silver spoon in their mouth. They are ordinary people. Just they have learned how to train their brain, how to find the right mindset to be what. What do I want to be? It's a question that we should ask. When I was 27 years old, 28 years old, I asked myself, what do I want to be when I'm 50, 40, 70, who knows, 150? What do I want to be? It is a question, and also in that time, I answered it. Then it was my goal. I started my journey to my goal.
So what would be the advice that you would give to, 27 years old guy or girl, same as you are, but, he or she is there in Middle East, and then they're trying to finding like their path, and they're thinking of entrepreneurship. And maybe they're thinking, there's this Scandinavia, which people lives better, it's like way safer here. So then, they heard like your story. So what's the advice? What should they do?
First, ask themselves, what do they want to do?
So they want to repeat your story. They want to maybe build the bridge and kind of come in here. So let's try. I'm forcing you to be like super precise.
Okay. If they are going through the same journey and they have the same goal, first, they should specify their goal. And based on their goal, they should train their brain, find the mindset and go through the goals. Never is late. There is no limitation. The only limitation, I strongly believe it, the only limitation in our life is our brain. I agree on that, yeah. If we could train our brain to do not accept any limitation, then there is no limitation. There are many people who they make limitation for themselves. For sure, we have seen some people, I cannot, you cannot. Or many people have said it, but they couldn't. Negative. Let's be positive. Let's be optimistic. When I'm doing my best, then trust the result. Because some hours in my hand are my management. Some parts are not. This part, I'm doing my best. Then I trust this part. For sure, everything is going to be correct.
Okay, that's good. So we have step number 1, fix the mindset. Somehow believe in yourself, train yourself, set proper...
First goal. Yes.
The goal and the mindset. Okay, so now imagining I am 27 years old, guy in Iran. So then now I fix my mindset, and my goal is to partner up with one of the Finnish companies, and then in the future, hopefully move into Finland and get the shares of this company. So what do you think? What should I do? Or how I'll be that helpful then the company later on, like they did with you, they invited you in. So how do I'm becoming this valuable?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, when I was 27, I didn't specify I want to shareholder in a Finnish companies. I was thinking I am going to build my international business and I am going to do a business in a wider countries, internationally, global. This is goal. If you want to make it very narrow, maybe you are going to ruin it. While you are making limited your goals to only Finnish companies, maybe your destiny could be in the Germany, maybe in the Norway, maybe in the Sweden. No, I say please set your goals wider, bigger as you can. For example, if I want to make an international, global business, and I would like to make this revenue, for example, I don't know, 10 billion, something like this. As much as you can imagine. Because when you can imagine something, your brain is starting thinking that, okay, I should get it. When you can imagine only 1 million, your brain is going to 1 million. 1 billion to 1 billion. It depends on what you can imagine. Okay? If I, for example, tell something as a recommendation to 27 years old people in Iran, as I said, or in other countries, just set your goals. Do not make narrow, do not make small your goals. Set your big goals as much as you can imagine, then go through to it. There is no reason that you be a shareholder in one company also. Maybe your destiny, maybe your journey is somewhere else. Just based on your trying, doing your best, go through your goals. Yeah. This is exactly what you should do as a young. And also do your best again. Trust the results.
Love it. I agree on this so much. I think this is like the mindset is like the number one thing, and also I think this mindset is the thing that can just ruin your everything else. I think everything else in your life might be in check. You have an excellent strategy, excellent tactics, you have your skills, you have your network, you know what you're doing, you're broken down like geniusly. And then if the mindset is wrong, if you're limited, like I said, with a small goal, then, it's not going to work. You know what else I was curious about? So then you have quite an interesting story, and then you moved in to start kind of your own business, and you run your own business now. What are the challenges of running a business in Finland as an immigrant, as a non-native speaker of Finnish, as a person from different culture?
Very good question. Very interesting question. Actually, when we are talking about being entrepreneur in Finland, there are some obstacles. For example, about the language, everyone knows. About the population, which is about 5.5 million only, something like this. As I told you, I never think of Finland, even when I'm in Finland. Now, I have some clients from Sweden, or maybe, for example, I'm giving advice to some startups from Canada or southern places. Please do not limit yourself to any region, because in today's world, by the internet, everything is online, especially after COVID time. There is no limitation at all. Just go forward and put all the limitations away. Please think without any limitation, furtherless. And when we are going forward, in Finland, the most of things, I think, if you want to be an entrepreneur, and if your target market is inside Finland, is language. I think the most is language. And the second is understanding the Finnish culture. For example, I'm coming from Middle East. If I want to talk about the Iran culture, Turkey culture, maybe some Arabic countries' culture, and also in that area, they are pretty same. Maybe 70%, 80%, they are same. We could understand each other very soon, and also very good. When I was starting my business journey in Finland, first of all, I understood that what I know about the sales in Middle East doesn't work in the EU, because the expectations are different, the values are different, many things are different, and also how to sell, how to do marketing, how to persuade your customer, even how to find your customer is different. Why customers buy? Why clients buy? Because of trust, because of the rapport. No client buy because of the price. For example, I say, I give you 50% discount, 20%. No, especially in EU, trust and rapport are the first. The main question, how could I build trust and rapport between me and my clients, whether I'm a very small entrepreneur or maybe I have a good company or big company. These are something, but these are not something that I find them as a limitation, not at all. All of them could be solved first if you have the right mindset, and then maybe 1 year, 2 years to get to know the Finnish culture.
I would like, let's pause on this here. Okay. It's super interesting about, I think what you're also kind of inclining for is this adaptation to the kind of correct like local markets.
Exactly.
So then the Middle East is so different from Europe, and then Europe actually in itself, like Finland is different from Sweden, even though they're nearby. So you need to speak the local language, and then it's not only the language, but is the approach. Like, how do you communicate? What does it mean good? What does it mean bad? How do you build like this rapport and the trust with the potential customer? Yeah. So do you have any tips or how you are approaching this? How do you adjust depending on the market as a business owner?
Yes. First, we know that almost most of the Finnish people knows English language. I cannot say all, because now I have one client who doesn't speak English. Yeah. There are. And I'm speaking Finnish with him. Right. Of course, my Finnish is not very good, but however, I could handle. Yeah. It's not I'm not as fluent as English, but however, I could handle it. Then first recommend, when somebody wants to live and do business in Finland, please study Finnish language, and try to speak it, because you need it.
And this is to everybody who is listening, this is the note. Just like stop, pause now, put in yourself in your notes. Like step 1, learn Finnish language if you want to do business in Finland. I second for that, and I speak basic Finnish. But then this is my limitation, that I would be in my business within Finland. I'm with you in terms of like, yeah, I can do global, and that's what we are doing. But if we want to do more business within Finland, the language is the number one thing. Yeah, you are completely right. Yeah.
Imagine, for example, now my clients are Finn who would like to go globally. It means that the main customers are not from Finland, they are from different countries. Imagine if I want to find a consumer from Finland and tell them, for sure, 100% I should communicate with them with Finnish language. Yeah. My emails, my speaking, everything. Then it is the first. And after that, please understand how Finns are thinking.
Okay.
how Finns find as a trust, as a rapport. Understand when to talk.
So what do you think? So how it is, how do Finns find that? It's like, what is your hypothesis?
Yes.
Only they know, but like, now here we can speculate a bit, yeah.
Okay. It is very important when you are selling something to Finns,
Right.
when you want to do business, not selling, because business is a wider range of activities. When you are doing business with Finns, please know when to talk and when not to talk. Sometimes by your silence you are talking. For example, in the Middle East, when I am not talking, it means that I do not have anything to say. It's free Middle East culture. At least in more than 70%, maybe something like this. But in Finland, sometimes you need to just not saying something. You need to listen and listen actively. It is important, not only in Finland, but I could say many countries. But when you are in Finland, know when to talk and when to listen. It is very important. Most of the Finns would like to be listened, would like to be understood. It is our art. And maybe if I want to sell something, if I want to do business, and if I want to sell in the Finnish market, I try to more than 80% listen, ask good questions, ask open questions, less than 20% speak. And when I'm going to speak, I do not overspeak. Very, very shortly, just presentation, like an elevator pitch, something like this. Very, very shortly. It is exactly what, if I want to do same in Middle East, doesn't work. One difference between, maybe I could say, EU or Finland and Middle East.
How about difference between Finland and Germany? I know you also have done like a bunch of business in Germany. What is the difference between Finland, Germany, and Middle East?
I would like to tell something. Maybe I want to say something else. What's the difference between Finland and Spain? For example, in Spain, in Finland, when you want to do ice breaking, is a very difficult question. It's a very difficult issue because somebody when is in business is only in business. There, we as a business owner, businessman, businesswoman, we want to do ice breaking, we want to talk about something, and sometimes it's very difficult to encourage your audience, your prospect, your lead to speak. But in Spain, when you want to do business, it's very difficult to go straight to the business, even after 1 hour talking about ice breaking. There are some differences. If I want about Germany, Germany is not like Finns and it's not like Spain, something between. Germany is very interesting market for almost all of the entrepreneurs because more than 18 million population, but also competitive as well because there are many competitors there. That's why when we or with our clients, we are talking about the target market. One of the first target markets are Germany when we are talking about that. I have always tried to have cooperation with the local people there, and also we have some partners there who could help us there. When we are going through the Germany, Spain, Italy, even Sweden, which is our neighbor, always we need to know what is the culture, how could we get market, how could we find our ICP, how could we get connected with them. Even if we want to be in the social media, for example, in the LinkedIn, maybe in the Insta, Facebook, or each of them. When we want to get connected with our ICP, based on the culture in different regions, our contents should be different also, and how to get connected, how to get engaged with our ICP.
I think it's super cool also you mentioned about importance of the local partners and local representatives, and this is like a cheat code, certain questions. So I'm in Finland and I'm not Finnish, right? And then also, but I run the activities here, and I would prefer sometimes my agents or business partners or friends to handle some kind of sensitive cases, because I know because of the local positioning they will do it way better, just because they're local, they understand better, they can speak the same language in terms of you speak or you don't speak. Me, sometimes I might just speak too much, right? So nobody needs this and extra time. So then I think this is really great tip if you want to do if you're immigrant and you want to do business in Finland, find the local partners, partner up, co-founder, business partner, or you can hire local people to do, some outreach for you, kind of set up the meetings, or even run the sales process. For example, you just, coach them and build the capabilities. Something else maybe I wanted to speak about with you is that, in my mind, I have this, there was this video in internet where it's like there are two guys also there recording, and then the one guy say like, okay, so this famous story, sell me this pen.
Oh.
And then another guy is like taking the pen is like and asking, do you need this pen? And then the guy is answering, no. And then I will not sell you the pen. And then they explain, and then it was like a sketch. It was kind of funny thing, but this is the reality. Like if somebody doesn't have a pen, doesn't need the pen, you shouldn't be selling kind of to them. What's your thinking about that? Do you agree that this is the case in sales?
For sure, we are not going to put pressure on our customer. Yeah. Just I was talking about it, that finding our target market, finding our ICP, ideal customer profile. When somebody is not interested in my services, in my solution, in my product, why should I put my valuable time? Why should I waste my time to sell him? No. But there is one point here. When I'm going to sell something, am I going to focus on the features or the values? For example, about a pen. How could I describe a pen? My pen is writing. My pen is very beautiful. My pen is black and okay, every pen is writing, every pen is beautiful, every pen is... What are the values? Is there any history behind my pen? Does it have any, for example, value that it could make it valuable for my prospect, for my lead, for my customer? First, is my customer interested in my product, solution, service or not? If yes, how? Do you want just something to write? Okay, by €1 you could buy a pen. Why you should pay, for example, 2,000 euros for a Mont Blanc pen? Do you pay it? Yes, there are many people who pay it. 5,000, 2,000, 3,000 euros for only one pen from, for example, Mont Blanc or other brands. While they could buy maybe 50 cents, €1. Why? Because of the value. I should know what is the value. If you are going through the sales, first understand what are the value and what are valuable for your prospect. Every product is expensive. Every product, even 50 cents, even 10 cents, before values. When you say values and then you are talking about the price, then the price will find its place. Is it expensive or it's not expensive? Then, about the pen you mentioned, great. What value? First value. And do not never go through the features like the others. For example, this is very interesting, this is nice. I don't know, this is the color, the lead, how does it write? No. What are the main values which could make it valuable for more prospect? Psychology of customer. I should know my customer. Maybe it is interesting to tell it that before going through a sales meeting, I should do my homework. I should know my prospect, what is interesting for my prospect, what kind of solution my prospect, my customer I meet, wants and need, what he or she, what they have already experienced, and why it didn't work for them. I should know many things about it. And also all the social media, website, competitors, market, everything about them. And then I go there, 80% I listen, 80% of the time I listen, less than 20%. Very effective pitch or presentation, asking good question, and stuff.
Yeah. And then I'm just with you on this. I mean, like you don't sell to somebody who doesn't need this value or who doesn't have this problem to be solved, right? So then they literally don't need your product, right? Okay. So you move on, you define, like you said, your customer, and then you go to your correct customer, or maybe your product is wrong, and maybe you need to spend some time figuring out what the product actually should be. Something maybe I'd like to share with you. Something I'm thinking sometimes in terms of problems of network in Finland. And network, I mean, like it's rather hard to find people with whom you resonate, and also to build this rapport, and not necessarily in the customer and the salesperson and somebody who is buying, but then just like a network, like entrepreneurs to kind of share your pains, people to ask for advice, finding mentors, etc. How it is for you, and how do you feel about this? Like, because you live here now in Finland, so what do you think?
If you want to be an entrepreneur in Finland or maybe in all over the world, I have 2 recommendations for all the young entrepreneurs. First, please go to the municipality in your region and get help from them. Almost all of the municipality could support and are supporting entrepreneurs. small entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, help them to grow for networking, for advertising, for mentoring, for many different aspects, and you could ask them help. How to build trust, how to build rapport, social media. Please be active in your social media, whether you are in B2B, B2C, B2P, B2D, it depends on you. Social media. Find the best platform which works for you the best. Is it LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Insta, Facebook? What it is. Find it the best, maybe more than one, maybe 2, 3, 4, the platform. And start content creation based on the platform. Please customize the content based on the platform. Do not feed what is prepared for Insta to the YouTube or the others. No, it doesn't work.
It's so interesting that so many people agree about the content creation, and also I had different podcast episodes with entrepreneurs or people in the field, and everybody says the same. The content is here to stay, and whatever you do, you should be doing content. And also here I'd like to highlight that you're living it through, you are doing a bunch of content yourself.
Oh. Yes, exactly. Content is king for queen. Yes, very important content. Because when you are posting your contents, it's coming from your mind. What are you thinking, how you are thinking, and how do you want to help others? When people are reading, seeing, maybe your contents could be audio, maybe text, blog, image, everything it is, video, everything it is. When your audiences are seeing, watching, listening, could understand that how could you help them? You are step by step building trust and rapport. I remember about 19 or 20 years ago when I started my business. In that time, social media was very weak, or maybe there were no social media. I remember something about Facebook, but was not as strong as is it now. In that time, just I was maybe advertising my services in some of the free websites because very limited budget in the marketing. But now social media is almost free. Why you are not posting in the LinkedIn 3 times a day? It's free. Why you are not posting 2 times every, week in the Instagram, in Facebook, and more than one platform when it is free? But before that, please learn something about what is the best content, how to post it, how to get the most engagement. Know something about it.
I would also say, it's the journey. So I really would also encourage, start posting, start your journey as early as possible. And then you learn and iterate and get better and better and better. And also, I just had a conversation with somebody recently, and then they were saying but I'm not extroverted to do the content. And I'm like, hold on a second. Now there's so many types of content. If you're maybe not extroverted to, or not brave enough to speak on a camera, you can do this X platform, Threads, or Twitter, or LinkedIn snippets, or long post, short post, or video, audio, whatever. There's that you can choose your type of content. It's so easy nowadays.
Exactly. Yeah. And also always your 50 posts, when it is number 50, is much, much, much better than number 1. Do you want to start number 1 now or 2 years later? Start it right now.
That's true.
Because, however, when you reach to the number 50, it is much, much better than now. Yes, social media is really important now for building trust and rapport. And when you post something, for example, in LinkedIn for B2B, Insta, Facebook, Thread, as you said, or the others, you see, for example, 2,000, 1,000, even 500 engagement, or maybe the people who have reached. It's excellent. It is great. It's the best way for marketing.
100% agree about that. We are walking towards wrapping up. And so maybe Mehdi, last words you'd like to, share with everybody who is listening. So any final tips from you?
If you have first of all, please specify your goal. Then follow your dreams. Every day morning, when you wake up, you have 2 ways. The first is following your day, which is very routine and like yesterday with no goal, or the other is following your dream. Then you have a big hope to achieve your goals and to get what you want. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up. When you want to go through the business journey, it's a very challenging, sometimes difficult, but 100% if you have the right mindset, a good goal, and also in the right roadmap, I guarantee 100% you will succeed.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mehdi, for being with us. I've enjoyed our conversation tons, and I think it was like super insightful for me at first, and I'm sure for all the listeners of this Get Cracking podcast. So please, everybody, do me a favor. Go follow Mehdi on LinkedIn. The links are in comments. Go follow us on YouTube. We are strong on YouTube. We are making more videos. We are doing everything better. We are learning and exploring and improving the cameras, improving the setup. So thank you very much, Mehdi, for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. Awesome. I really enjoyed talking with you today.
Cool. Good stuff.